Right. We've got our engine block back. Freaking brilliant. Something to work with. And head gasket and gasket set, if you can see, that sort of thing. So I'll get that painted up first job. Right, we did have one small issue in that the pistons, because obviously there's pretty tight tolerances between the pistons and the oil squares as stock, and obviously because these rods are a little bit shorter in aid of compression to try and stop pissing around with the pistons, it's very tight, as in it touches. So we had to machine off a little bit off the bottom of each piston just to give us some clearance on the squirter blocks. The camera's not going to pick it up. Oh, might do. Don't know if you can see down there. Basically, you've got your oil squirter coming off your block oil way, and you've got your piston skirt there, that shiny bit. We just had to literally machine a little bit off the corners so it doesn't contact there. Other than that, they've gone in there fine. Engine shop have done a good job of cleaning everything off, which is always a good idea. Pretty much, yeah, I'm going to give it a seal around the gasket now, put the sump on, and probably paint it up or something first to make it look a bit better. But yeah, that's all together. Ideal. If you can even see the rods particularly well now they're in the engine, but right, got the sump on now. I don't know if people remember, I had problems last time with the frickin' oil leak. Basically, this main bearing end cap, which is right on the end of the block, flywheel end, there's like two rubber seals that sit down in between the bearing cap and the crankcase, just run down the middle. But I had problems with them leaking. But they are obviously, all the rubbers and seals and O-rings and everything's been replaced now, but they were last time as well. So I've also shoved a load of silicone in there, or sealant in there, in the vain attempt to make sure that doesn't happen again, because that's a right pain in the ass when the car's back and the engine's back in the car. So hopefully that'll stop that from happening again. I'm going to get the flywheel on now. It's been lightened out a bit on the lathe, so it's had a bit of material taken off it, not a huge amount. Doesn't really make particularly much of a difference, but I had that done while it was off. Had a hell of a job getting the clutch dowels out, which needed to take some material off. So they're broke, so I'm going to have to try and get some out of another flywheel and get them back in, which will probably be equally as fun, but I'll sort something. That's up against the standard one on the rear side, just as a bit of an example. Surprisingly heavy with the standard one, actually. I didn't realise it would be that much lighter with that little removed, actually. About the only thing Haynes man was useful, to be honest, is the Torx ends. That and the wiring diagrams. Right, I've painted that up now, ideal. Chris has turned up.
Finally got 12 months stick on the lamp.
Just got MOT, which, you know, is a bit of a miracle around here. Right, head studs, head gasket. Right, I've got the head studs in and the head gasket on. Just putting the clutch on a minute because it was lying around and things get lost around here, so if I bolt it, it won't. Pretty simple putting the clutch on, really. You just take the old one off and put the new one on. Couldn't find their alignment tool, so who needs a plastic alignment tool when you can just cut the shaft out of a gearbox that goes in there anyway? Nothing better than the actual.
We'll just weld it back on later.
Yeah, it's only a scratch on me, luckily. So that goes in there like that, and that's a redneck alignment tool. Just torquing down the head. There you go. Right, head's on and torque down. Clutch is on, tight it in. I think that'll do for today. Ideal.